What's up, MLSP? What's going on? Mark Harbert here, and I'm going to do my best with this live. It is really, really nasty out right now. So if my internet cuts out, that's the deal. So what's going on, guys? As you hop on the call, do me a favor. If you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay, and share this on your page. Share this on your page if you're getting, if you're getting value, if you get value from it, of course. Tag somebody that you think might get value, and absolutely get out there and let this be seen. So hope you guys are doing well. I'll give you a minute or so to hop on here, and we'll talk a little bit more about opportunity. And I'm excited. I think this is such a great topic to talk about. It's definitely one of those topics that I was taught very, very early on by some great mentors that poured things into my life. And, I think that it's important for us to always know and learn and see and, be, mindful of the opportunities that are in front of us. And like I shared on the call, obviously there's a lot of stuff going on right now, a lot of opinions out there, a lot of very strong opinions. But, in the end, really, as an entrepreneur, I think they're the ones that really have the opportunities here to make a difference. It's really the opportunity, the entrepreneurs that provide the opportunity to go out there and change things. So we have a responsibility as entrepreneurs to rise up to that level. I know for me, I take that very seriously. We've just recently done some things in my business as well to rise to the occasion. And I think that it's very, very important for us to do that. So as you come on, do me a favor, just type where you're watching from. And I always like to know where we're reaching. And I know MLSP reaches far and wide. So, so let's dive in a little bit more. I'll share just a little bit more on this. And I think we can do some cool things. So, there are really, when you get right down to it, there's two basic thinkers, and we refer to this in terms of we've heard where, there you go. I just saw Arthur. He says the reticular activating system. That's what it is. That's what it is. The reticular activating system. I was talking about it on the call, but it's where, you go buy a car and all of a sudden you see those cars all over the road, whereas you didn't see them before. So great. Appreciate that, Arthur. Thanks for pointing that out. So what I was saying is there's really two types of thinkers. We a lot of times, talk about how we have a glass half full or a glass half empty type of person. Okay. One person will look at that glass and they'll say, oh, it's only half full. I only have half. Where the other person will look and go, oh, cool, I got half a glass. That's awesome. And whereas, there's really, if you break it down into the basic fundamentals, there's two types of thinkers. You have problem focused people, and then you have opportunity focused people. Those people focus on the problem. One of the things that I also learned early on was, if you want to solve a problem, focusing on the problem too much brings more problem. What you want to be is focused on the solution, the opportunity. How do you solve it? How do you solve this issue? Instead of just focusing, woe is me, I've got this big problem. And I'm telling you right now, you go out there and talk to people, there's people out there, they will be all about loving to tell you about their problems. Okay? They love to talk about them. They love to, go on and on and on about their problems, and they want to, blah, blah, blah. I've talked to some of these people, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, so what are you going to do to change it? If that's your problem, what are you going to do to change it? Well, I don't know. And then you tend to get a little offended, and all that. Well, having a problem is one thing, but how are you going to solve the problem? You see, that's the way I think, and it served me well. That it really is. How do you take care of it? How do you solve it? How do you get beyond it so that you can change things? And then you have the opportunity thinkers. Those are the ones that look at a problem and they say, okay, how can I solve this? Not only help myself, but help others. Okay. And so it's really a very simple way to think. And simplicity always rules, man. I mean, there's one thing I've learned in marketing is that simplicity always rules the day. The more complicated something is, the more difficult it is, the more difficult it is, to do anything. And for someone like me that loves internet marketing, I love generating leads, I love automation. It's like one of my favorite things in the world. How can I automate the tedious? How can I make it easier to save myself time and get more done in less time? And I'm always thinking in those veins. And so, really when it gets just right down to it, you have to be one of those people, if you want to be successful over the long term, that focus on the solutions and not the problems. And this is how you see opportunity. So, be determined to be an opportunity focused thinker. And I think that, if you go out there and you really share that with people and you point other people, that's why I have such respect for people like Diane Hochman. Many of you guys know Diane in the community. I love Diane because, be honest with you, Diane knows this. Her and I don't always agree on everything. I love Diane. But what I love about Diane is her willingness to tell people what she thinks, whether they like it or not. Because sometimes you got to be willing to be bold and tell people, hey, there's a problem here. There's a problem here. And you need to be willing to fix that problem. I think that there's part of what being an entrepreneur is being bold and courageous sometimes, even in the face of people who might think you're crazy. Now, I heard this many years ago that it was basically 3 stages. Opportunities go through 3 stages. And it was, first, it's ridiculed. Second, it's violently opposed. And then third, it becomes self-evident. And to me, that was something very thing. So what happens is when somebody stands up and says something, it can be violently, ridiculed like crazy. Then it can be violently opposed. Then it becomes self-evident, where it's just irrefutable. This is what's happening. And a lot of things go through those stages. And so, in the infancy stages of sometimes having an idea or seeing an opportunity, it's a matter of being able to just recognize that not everybody will necessarily agree with your solution or how you want to go about it. But if you think it's something good, stand up for it and continue to go through pressing on with that, that solution, unless you realize that, hey, this isn't a good solution, but you got to be willing to put yourself out there. Part of seeing opportunities as well, and this is a whole nother topic in and of itself, is being willing to fail. That's a whole nother thing we could probably talk about on another call, but the reality of it is a lot of people don't pursue opportunity because they're just too afraid. They're so riddled with fear in their life that they're not willing to take a chance or take a risk. And, if you're not willing to take a risk, then don't ever leave your house. Seriously. Right now we're all getting a taste of what it means to stay at home. But if you're not willing to risk, don't ever leave your house. You might as well just stay home all the time, And as entrepreneurs, you got to be willing to take risks at times. It's not always fun, but sometimes we have to. So anyway, I hope you guys got some value today. This is definitely a topic I could probably talk about all day long, and sit there and have cool conversations with people. But my goal is just to help you, make you better, make you more of a problem solver. And I hope maybe I gave you some nuggets this morning that'll help you to do that. So appreciate you guys. I love this community. You're in the right place. Brian, Norbert, Todd, Jim, all the guys behind the scenes, everybody's got your best interest at heart, and I can promise you that that is the case. So right now I have a problem that I need solved, and it's the fact that I need my hair cut, okay? I'm really good at hiding the fact that I need a haircut right now with a lot of gel, but if I didn't have this gel in my hair, there'd be massive poof going on. Okay. And that's just how it is at the moment. So if you have a home solution on cutting your hair, that's a good thing to come up with. So I love you guys. Appreciate you. Enjoy your day. Go out there, make some awesome stuff happen. Appreciate you. Love you. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.